What is the right way to use Mashke?
I think that Rebbe answered that question directly. I believe that Rebbe said that after 40 they'll have seichel, they'll understand themselves. But you could look up the Sikha. It's Pashas Shmini, Tafshin Chav Beis, I think, or Chav Gimel. And it was right after Pesach. The Fabrengen, the Sikha was said in conjunction with a story that happened at that time. And the Rebbe connected it to the Pashas Shavua of Yain V'Shecher Al Teisht. In Pashas Shmini, you have the idea of Ratzei B'li Shev. And the Rebbe said Yain V'Shecher Al Teisht. And I think in that Sikha, the Rebbe explains that after 40, Chassidim will have seichel themselves, whether or not they should say l'chaim and how they should say l'chaim and so on. But since you're asking the question, I'm just going to say the fact. The fact is that Mashke by Chassidim was an important thing. And Mashke by Chassidim had a very, very favorable effect on Chassidim. But the fact is also that young people and Mashke is a terrible mix. Young people are young. And of course, the fundamental definition of a young person is that he doesn't know yet. He hasn't experienced life. When you're old, you're wise. When you're young, you don't even know that you're not wise because you don't know what wisdom is. And the fact is, drinking mashke by young people, even if they're truly chsidish bachrim, and even if they're truly drinking it l'shem shamayim, and even if the use of the mashke appears to be favorable, it's really not a good thing. It's not healthy, not only physically not healthy, it's spiritually bad. Bad. A person who is older, who says l'chaim, is completely different than a young person who says l'chaim. The only way for me to explain this, and I know this is a bit insensitive, is to say, when a person lives in the real world, he's not a yeshiva bacher who's in Atzilus, and he has all kinds of inyonim in his life, whether it's chinuch problems with his children, or parnasa problems, or health problems, and a person like that says a chassidish and bissel, trinkt a chassidish and bissel mashke, says a chassidish and l'chaim, it's coming from a very, very different place, and it has a certain integrity that is simply not possible in teenagers. It's just not there. And the question that should really be asked is, why did Rebbe waited so long to make the Gzeira? The fact is that there's letters from the Rebbe from much earlier, from the early 50s, from 10 years before, and even more, where the Rebbe writes to the B'tzi and Shem Tov that he's not in favor of people saying l'chaim. He doesn't even speak about young people, but people b'chlal saying l'chaim. And he says, especially now, that such an important part of the mandate of Chassidus is the inyan of afatzas hamayonas chutza. It's very, very important to concern yourself with the chutza, and therefore it's an undesirable thing that people should say l'chaim. On the other hand, the Rebbe does indicate the idea. There's letters from the Rebbe to this effect. There's a sikha from the Rebbe that l'chaim allows a person to go out of a medidas vagbolas and has a certain benefit. But the Rebbe felt and feels that for young people this isn't necessary, and it really is true. In other words, even on a very balabatisha level, a very, very chassidish young person is different than a very, very chassidish older person. It's just a fact of life. It's just the way it is. And I'll tell you something interesting. I had a coworker who told me that he was an elder bacher, and he was given the hadracha of young children. He was a mashpia for bacherim who were 14 or 15 years old. And he felt that he needed mashke in order to be able to be mashpia on them. And he went to the Rebbe Yechidus, and he asked the Rebbe permission to say l'chaim. So the Rebbe told him, quote, "Favos dafen ois nitzen, azelche niederike Sachen, for azelche heiche inyonim." Why do you want to use such a lowly method for something so lofty? And the Rebbe said to him, if you want to be in a spirit, be able to fabring, read the sichas. From the Friedrich Rebbe, we have the Sipurim and the Chassidische Werte that warm the heart, so that you'll be in a mood and a frame of mind to have a Chassidish Fabrengen without the Mashke. Or I think he told them also he should sing a few Chassidish Nagunim, which can put him into that mind frame. And if I'm not wrong, the Rebbe once made a comment that nowadays there's no need for Mashke at all, because since we have the Sichas of the Friedrich Rebbe, the letters of the Friedrich Rebbe, which give us the Shemusha Shel Teda, was Arum Chassidus is, all of the warmth and the spirit that Chassidim for many generations had in the way of Teda Shabal Peh, is now available for us to read in the Friedrich Rebbe's own Sichas. They can intoxicate more than any L'chaim, and it's simply unnecessary to say L'chaim.